Hello everyone, I'm Mike Dubé from CaseNet Media.
And I'm Brianna Hike from Acadia University.
And today we'll be speaking about intellectual property and counterfeiting and if you're getting the real deal. So first of all, let's get one thing established. Counterfeiting products are essentially illegal goods trying to be real.
So counterfeit products are also a huge concern for both businesses as well as other companies as well. But what's the huge cause for that? Actually, it is indeed intellectual property.
So this video stemmed out of one of our CaseNet speakers, Sandra Greer.
So Sandra Greer is actually the former CEO and president of Amirix. And Amirix essentially is responsible for making acoustic tracking technologies for marine wildlife. And essentially what she does is she's built an actual network pertaining to that as well. So it can be used in cases as tracking fish behavior all the way to migratory systems.
So over the course of about 25 years, Amirix had finally established a full network of extremely viable information for biologists. So the problem occurred when an Australian manufacturer figured out how to essentially reverse engineer their coding, and they were able to sell the same product in an Australian market at an extremely reduced price. So 25 years of hard work gone down the drain just for another company to make a quick buck.
So where does intellectual property actually fit into all of this? Counterfeit products actually fall under the umbrella, as we've previously kind of touched on in terms of it being intellectual property.
Yeah, so intellectual property is kind of like a blanket term. It's pretty vague, but it essentially describes what happens when the creative work of a company or the ideas that they've developed become stolen. And it's a serious issue that becomes the defining evidence in a counterfeiting situation.
Okay, so it's situations like Sandra Greer's that often have law firms thinking ahead.
Exactly. In another CaseNet series, Canadian law firm Stewart McIlvery regularly get approached by businesses trying to be proactive about not accidentally stealing others' intellectual property. Take Bob Thomas from Progeny Software. Progeny were the first to market with a product that turned out to be not actually first to market at all. And essentially, after all their effort, others had beat them to market, and now they had to figure out what to do next without infringing on others' intellectual property.
Okay, so let's back away from CaseNet for a second. How big is the counterfeit industry in the first place?
Well, CNN said in 2016 that it's a $461 billion problem.
So on the other hand, however, Racked.com suggests that the counterfeit industry accounts for approximately $600 billion, which is apparently approximately twice the amount of the illegal drug market.
So either way, it's a serious problem for businesses worldwide.
Yes, and Fortune.com actually had a great example. Take Beats by Dr. Dre. A set can go for potentially over $400 in the market, but a counterfeit pair can be sold for just under $90.
Yeah, and with the current state of online shopping, counterfeiters are able to move much more product than before, especially with how easy it is to manipulate a website and make something seem reputable. And actually, a professor at the Acadia University in New York, who had written extensively about the problem, even admitted, and I quote, "You can get into the business at a very low cost, and penalties if you get caught are very small compared to other illegal activities." Now, this professor was speaking about China, coincidentally, where 70 to 80% of counterfeit goods actually originate.
Okay, so Adrian Punderson, who's the VP of Oakley's brand protection, actually goes on to state that once a pair of counterfeit products are released into the market or the stream of commerce, it costs them approximately 100 times more to actually stop them from being sold versus them actually preventing the product from being made in the first place.
So it sounds like a big, scary world out there for business owners, but isn't imitation the sincerest form of flattery?
True.
Maybe not. But we want to know your thoughts on this episode. And what do you think about counterfeiting and intellectual property? Do you think that someday there'll be a solution that'll kind of blanket it universally? Or do you think it's always going to be a thorn in the side of CEOs and business owners? So to find out more about Sandra Greer of Amirix or Bob Thomas of Progeny Software and how they solve their issues, visit our website and we'll link the description below. And thanks for watching.